Hey Reflections, this is Quantum Kitty. This is Artemis. I'm really excited. This is my first pet. I've never really had one. My family didn't really like pets around the house, so yeah, I felt it was time, and I know that a lot of people don't agree with owning pets, but I need a companion. And this little monkey is good. She's really loving. I got her from a shelter. Yeah, she's a really awesome companion. The only bad thing is I keep on getting like lipstick on her, but she's really like an awesome pet or companion, because literally she just wants to like hang out like all day, every day, just on my lap, and it's awesome. Yeah, but other than that, I actually had a very interesting experience with her, and that's why I decided to bring her on as my co-host. So yeah, basically, I had gotten her about, I'd say, look at how she's looking. Like, what is she doing? I'd gotten her a little bit less than a week ago. I'd say 5 days ago. uh, Last week, Saturday, Friday, Saturday. So about a week ago. And within 3 days of having her, literally, she connected with me in a very interesting way. And again, it was not on any type of psychedelics at all. I like to say that because I feel that, and I'll get to that later. There was no psychedelics at all, and we connected. So before I get into that story, I wanted to talk to you guys about some YouTubers that I like. And I don't know why it took me like, I don't know, 5 months, but you guys know that I've taken some time off of YouTube, and it literally took me 5 months to see Lamento Absurdo's video. And thank you so much. If you guys don't know who Lamento Absurdo is, he's a lot like my style of vlogging, just, like talking about different weird things that's happening to us. And yeah, so super awesome guy. Check out his work. I love it. It's very inspirational. And to be honest with you, if I lived in a cool place where I could just take those amazing, beautiful scenic walks, I would. And it's just so awesome. Also, I would suggest that you watch Mark Jane Cubensis. He's also really awesome. Great content. Very similar to my stuff. And yeah, I really appreciate his work. Another person I wanted to give a shout out to, DMT Infinity. Really good work. Great channel. Go check him out. And another person that I wanted to shout out, Skanky Mojo. This person in particular is doing amazing work, very similar to my channel again, but he also does podcasts, and he really inspired me to start doing podcasts. And actually, we already have done one podcast together, and we're probably going to do another one tomorrow. So go check out his channel. Really good stuff. It's all about DMT, all about psychedelics, and the guy knows what he's talking about. He's had a lot of experience with psychedelics, and it's great, just getting to have a great conversation with somebody like that. It doesn't happen very often, and I'm quite blessed that I was able to do so. So again, check out his stuff. See, look, she just falls asleep like right in my arms, and she's just like so happy. It's just, oh, I love her. So what happened was I was holding her, and it was like about the time, like the third day, she was getting kind of used to me, kind of comfortable with me. And I had this experience where I think it's because she's a hunter, like she's naturally a very wild animal at heart, she's a hunter, that's just within her blood and her DNA. And I felt that fear. I felt that like hunter, like that like you're dealing with a lion, or you're dealing with, this like big feline cat, like a jaguar or something. Her soul, her higher self, or whatever that she had showed me through her eyes, it was such a psychedelic experience. It was so DMT, and I wasn't taking anything. And, it was completely um, sober, and that very psychedelic experience happened between me and my cat. And again, I've been trying to adopt a pet for a really long time, but it just didn't work out. It just didn't, something didn't, it just never was effortless. And when things are not effortless, it's usually a sign for me to like just step back and, just relax and not make a big deal out of it. It's just not meant to be. And with her, it just, within days, they were like, here, take her, like, she's yours. And I was just like, like, I'm like, oh, I'm a cat mom. So yeah, it's just, my sister named her after the white cat in Sailor Moon, Artemis. And we used to wake up at like 6:30 in the morning as kids, and wake up, and we used to just love the show. And yeah, she's just very loving. I find that she's very loving and very compassionate, and but a killer. But a killer, but she's very loving, which, I really, really enjoy that. Also, I had a very psychedelic experience. Again, not on psychedelics. However, MDMA, but again, a very low dose. I was trying to not just have a good time, but like I kind of knew something was going to happen. And it's so funny because it's always like in the back of your head, like, oh, something's definitely going to happen. Like, I'm going to experience something. And what had happened was, this was really, really weird. I had, again, a very similar experience, very DMT-esque, very LSD. And it, when you get, Alan Watts, when he says, like, hang up the phone, that's basically what I had gotten. I realized that, and another thing, cats were, again, very, very involved in this vision. It was just really, really weird. And, it started off with seeing this little one, and it started off with seeing cats. And I saw, like, again, the cat archetype, or the cat hologram that I saw in my DMT vision. It was very similar, and it was all about cats and felines. And this feline seemed to be a very mystical figure. And I basically, again, it became very DMT. And it scared me because it made me realize, all these gurus and all of these enlightened masters and all these people searching for enlightenment is basically looking, when you're taking psychedelics, for death. And death is liberation. And I know that sounds very morbid, and I know that sounds very scary, but that was the undertone of this trip. And that kind of freaked me out, but it kind of didn't, because I'm used to it. I die in my dreams, my lucid dreams. I die when I have visions. I die when I wake up. I have a lot of death experiences, so it doesn't really scare me. But when I do talk to my friends about this, like the people that I'm like very close to, they get kind of afraid. They almost feel like, I'm suicidal or I'm depressed, but that's not the case at all. It's reality. It's reality. We don't know what happens to us when we leave this dimension. Obviously, this is not it. It was a very interesting experience because, I mean, it was like almost like a light ego death, you know? Like I've been having so many ego deaths within the past, I don't know how many months, that it just felt like impending doom. You basically need to hang up the phone. You're basically searching for your own death. You're basically trying to be liberated. You know, like that's basically the undertone of the message that I had gotten. And it seemed very funny, you know, it seemed just very funny that all of these gurus and enlightened masters were basically just experiencing reality for what it was, understanding the very terrifying reality that we're basically in, you know, understanding the hologram, uh, basically not having any attachments to anything, and basically going into, you know, a different dimension or singularity or oneness or whatever. So that's basically my experience. It was very powerful. Was it scary? No, surprisingly, it wasn't scary. Uh, did it make me frightened for my next mushroom or DMT experience? You know, fuck it. Fuck it. You know, I realized that, you know, there has to be more than this, and I'm just done being afraid. I'm done being afraid. Fuck it. And that brings me to another topic that I've, you know, been seeing a lot of lately. And again, you know, I'm coming from a very non judgmental um, perspective. And I would think that a lot of other people that were into spirituality would also come from a non judgmental space. So I've been realizing that, you know, okay, this is just a program for an upgrade. Once you learn the lesson, which is basically my vision that I had this weekend, basically it happened on a Saturday, and I just it basically it was me realizing that once you get the full upgrade, once you realize, you know, what we are, who we are, once you've learned whatever you have to learn, there's no reason for you to be in this dimension. And that was also something that was quite terrifying. But, you know, I'm learning to, you know, just basically come to terms with that. And I was communicating with this cat entity or whatever that was talking to me. And I said to them, I would like to live out my natural life. And if I return, I return. If I don't return to this game, this game basically, then I'm okay with that. But right now, I'm here to be in service to others and to, you know, do the things that, you know, other people are kind of afraid to do, you know, and so basically that's the space. That's what had happened. But I do realize that there's a certain trend of spiritual people talking about psychedelics. Now, again, this spirituality is not a trend. Consciousness is not a trend. This is why we are here. So I've been realizing that, you know, a lot of spiritual people, they look down on psychedelics. Well, a lot of spiritual people, you know, they will not admit to it, but a lot of their, you know, biggest experiences have happened on psychedelics. So for us to condemn plants or chemicals is, again, not the whole truth, you know, and I find that more and more and more spiritual people and gurus, whether in an ashram in India or a guru on YouTube, are talking about psychedelics. Why? Because it's trending, because people are interested in it. And I realize that a lot of these people that are talking from not a lot of experience. Um, so I just want to clarify to a lot of, spiritual people that, you know, everything works. And if you use something as a tool, just like meditation, just like lucid dreaming, just like astral travel, you can do very interesting things, So I find that just telling people that this experience is not for you, and it's not a good idea to do psychedelics, um, is, again, not really the whole entire truth. So, yeah, that's why I feel that, somebody needs to have a little bit of experience with something to talk about something. And another thing that I hear a lot about is that good plants are natural and bad chemical. But again, if you stop to think about it, everything we're wearing, everything, even my cat, myself, my clothes, the walls, everything is made out of chemicals. It's all about the chemicals that are in our bodies, and that makes the experience. So again, we're just searching for experiences that will enhance our lives and make us understand what this human experience is about. So again, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just trying to clarify certain things. I think it's very necessary to have two different opinions, because at the end of the day, everybody is right. Everybody's reality is right. And who am I to say that psychedelics aren't for you or are for you? But I'm just talking out of experience. Another thing that I've heard is psychedelics are addictive. You'd be addicted to mushrooms. You're addicted to DMT. You can't have an experience without DMT, without LSD. And again, wrong. Because for me, I don't ingest DMT for fun. I don't ingest LSD for fun. I don't ingest mushrooms for fun, because you are physically dying. You are having an ego death. How could somebody be addicted to death? So it seems very silly for me. And even MDMA, I've been realizing, whoa, I can't touch this stuff anymore. The more psychedelics you do, for me at least, in my experience, the more responsible I became, the more I worshipped my body, I loved my body, I respected my mind, my body, my soul, the more sensitive I became to drugs. So I would have to take DMT to have these visions, but guess what? I have these visions every night, when I go to sleep, when I meditate. So again, this is a good starter, this can help. And shamanism is a real thing. It's not hocus pocus. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, to just basically dismiss, a whole entire culture just because of our Western mentality and our belief systems is quite silly. So, am I happy to see spiritual people, or even, people talking about aliens or star seeds, get on board? Hell yeah, because they're finally getting it. You want to talk to an alien? Take some DMT. You'll realize the alien is you. You'll realize that you're alienated from your true soul. So again, I encourage them, yeah, you know what? You want to have contact? Perfect way. So yeah, this is just noticing a trend, and just realizing, wow, singularity is happening now. Singularity is happening now, and it's going to be a very interesting year. Anyway, reflections, I hope you're having an awesome, awesome, awesome day.